The fixed base is great for most edging, grooving, and other common router tasks. To install the motor, we open the clasp, set the motor in, matching the arrows up, give it a little turn, set it down, and lock the clasp. That's all there is to it. To make bit height changes, we have two options. We can use the unlock position to make coarse bit height changes, where you just lift the motor up and down in the housing, or go to the lock position that allows fine tuning. Just open the clasp, turn it to the unlock position, and we can slide the motor wherever we want it and lock it down. To make fine bit height adjustments, we open the clasp and turn the motor until it clicks into the lock position. When the motor is placed in the lock position, it engages the threads that are operated by this thumb wheel. We can turn that to make very small height adjustments. When making height adjustments, we can either eyeball the bit depth, measure it at the bottom of the router, or use this scale to quantify how much of a change we've made. Once satisfied with it, just lock the clasp and the bit height is locked in. The tilt base is very much like the fixed base in that it uses the same buckle closure and it has the fine height adjustment. The main difference is that the base plate moves 45 degrees in one direction and 30 degrees in the other, and can be locked at 7.5 degree increments in between. Being able to tilt the base lets us angle common router bit profiles to give them a whole different look. In this case, I use a regular flat bottom bit to create a plate groove. We can adjust the angle and depth of this groove to fit our needs. Plus, it's only a couple inches away from the vertical obstruction. If you need a groove closer to the vertical obstruction, then we use the offset base. We can route a groove very close to a vertical obstruction with the offset base. To use a deeper bit, I use double stick tape to put a couple of wooden spacers on the sub base to lift the router up a little bit so we get just a little bit of the bit cutting. I also removed the shroud from around the spindle housing. That lets us get about another 1/8 of an inch closer to the board. And we routed a groove about 1/8 inch deep with a V-bit. The inside edge of the groove is 5/8 of an inch away from the vertical obstruction.